I want to touch on a few things here and kind of like remind you what you're looking for. You have it in your hands right now. You just haven't used it enough to see the results that you're requiring, whether you accept the fact that that's what you're waiting for or not. Chances are you want to see yourself do something one time, where it's rule based. You felt comfortable doing it. It did exactly what you thought it was going to do. And if you have that moment, even if it's in a demo account, if you could just get that one event where I didn't tell you, no one else inspired you to do it, you found it all by yourself, that will be a fact that you'll hold on to. And that would be just enough for you to pursue and keep moving forward. Others may require that same thing, but with a live account. And that's why you foolishly sometimes try to do it with real money, or you rush to try to get a combine with it. And then try to do the same logic once you get funded, should you get funded, and you either blow it or cause so much damage that it's pointless to consider going forward with it. If you look at the statistics, I'm not sure if Michael Patak or Top Step has made it public what the statistics are in terms of the rate of success for people to try to get funded and get payouts. But if you look at the numbers that some of the other forex funded account companies, they have been very forthcoming, which I have a great deal of respect for, because they're telling you openly, like, you have next to zero chance of doing this unless you know what you're doing. You're probably going to fail. And when people see those statistics, and I got to be real careful how I say these things, because I don't want to sound like I'm pissing all over them, and I don't want to sound like I'm propping any of them up or representing them. Okay, we spent about a month of sitting down with, these are the rules. These are the rules. Okay, you don't have discipline, but the only way you can forge that discipline is by using these fucking rules. Okay, what rules are they? You have to know where you're aiming for, because if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. And for some of you, that went right over your head. But you have to have a target. You have to have a target in mind where you're aiming for with price. What is it reaching for? If you can't ascertain that by looking at a chart, you have absolutely no business pushing a button where you incur risk, even if it's demo, because the outcome is going to be detrimental to your development, because you're going to be feeding yourself toxic results that were rooted on no real rhyme or reason or model, but you're going to take it as a kick in the ass. You're going to take it as failure. You're not getting what you want, a dopamine hit. So you're treating it like an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend that were toxic, and they just keep calling you and you don't want nothing to do with them. That's eventually what you'll treat business with, relationships. That way, you'll have that same thing towards the markets and trading, which is the reason why I talk to you this way. I use analogies so that you can draw parallels to something that, oh, I understand what that feels like. I don't want that to feel like that when I'm trading. Don't do the shit you're doing. Do the things I'm telling you to do and avoid the things I tell you to avoid. If it's hard, I'm going to be that much more inspired to do it. Here's the rules. You have to aim for an hourly or a 15-minute high. Which one's you going to reach for? The obvious one that it's trying to get to. That's all you need. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. And then when you know that, you drop down to a 1 or 5 minute chart, and you wait for a 1 or 5 minute stop hunt that's against that draw on liquidity. So if you're thinking it's going to go up, you wait for a swing low to be taken out on a 1 or 5 minute chart. As soon as it does that on that time frame, you have to wait for, if it's a swing low that it takes out, you have to wait for an up close candle to form immediately after that swing low is taken out. As soon as that happens, then immediately you drop down to a 30-second chart and you buy the first fair value gap. That's easy shit, man. That's easy. There's simple parameters to that. It's based on the market's going to gravitate to that higher time frame draw. You just had a stop hunt on a lower time frame. So there should be what? A displacement going towards the next opposing liquidity that's higher time frame than the one you're entering on. The model had rules. You have to do this, do this, do this. And once you have it, whatever your winning trade is, whatever it is, you eat it, you take it home, and that's what it is. Do not re-enter. Well, what is he lacking? Discipline. How does he forge it? Doing it. Doing it and then not doing it and failing and getting the repercussions of it. Okay? That's progress. What happens if he takes a losing trade? He stops. But what if he sees another setup? He can't take it. What does he lack? Discipline. So when he tries to do a second trade and he makes money on it, what does he hear from me? Why are you doing that? But Dad, look what I mean. Why did you not listen? The whole point of this is for you to forge what? Discipline, following a model, because that will yield you the results. You coloring outside the lines is not you following the rules. The wins that you make outside of your model are not to be celebrated. That's you cheating on your wife and getting away with it. That doesn't mean keep doing it, or it's good because her feelings didn't get hurt, or vice versa. I'm giving you an extreme that maybe it doesn't fit you in a sense of an analogy, but in my mind, you are cheating on the model. You're not giving it time, energy, focus that it requires, that it deserves. I took the time to sit down and write this model up, gave him the rule-based ideas that he has to follow. Any deviations outside of that, if it's a win, I don't give a fuck about that win. That doesn't matter. That is a losing trade to me. It doesn't mean shit to me. How can you measure that? It's not part of the equation here. It's outside of the logic. So you can't champion it. You can't give it its props and say, yeah, look at this. Who gives a shit about that? And that's what some of you might be doing in your early stages of your progress. You're doing things outside of a model. And when you win, it's gain, it's profit. I feel good. Yeah, woo, this is what I want to do. And to make it feel better, because even though I know I feel a little guilty about it because I didn't really know what the hell I was doing and it worked for me, I'm going to share it on social media. Because if I get some likes, that dopamine hit will overcompensate for the fucking things I'm feeling that are rooted in guilt and reality, that it wasn't really rooted on any logic or model. It just happened to work out that time. So therefore, I now have a reason to be apprehensive about doing that impulsive desire. Is it inside my model? Is it inside my process, my protocol? What it is I'm doing in trading? Does it fit what it is I try to do as a trader? Does it fit my risk model? Am I allowed to trade that? I've already taken a trade, and even though it didn't hit what I want to trade and reach for the day, the trade is closed. The rules are you stop. You get the fuck out of there. Close the market down, done. You can't look at it no more. Go put your phone in the fucking car so that way you won't be touching it while you're at work. $1,000? I can be up $5,000 in less than 5 minutes? What's he gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to do that every single time. And that's how they get you. That's how this industry gets you. That's how your broker gets you. And I'm trying to be the voice of reason and say, okay, there's a day and a time for you to be making $5,000 in trades. There is. It's just not today. You need to be comfortable and humble in the beginning, trading with one micro lot, trying to get those 10 handles. Graduate to 15 handles. Can you get 20? Can you consistently do 20? Each day, can you do 20 handles? If you can do that, all you're doing then is then getting accustomed to now trading with 2 micros. That's $10 per point if it's an ES, or $4 if it's a NASDAQ. But I can't get rich that way. Who the fuck says you can't get rich? Who said that? You just did. Nobody else told you that. You got in your head that you need to be rich overnight, and nobody's doing that in trading anyway. Why the hell you think you're going to be the one that's going to do it? Listen, all the Lambos, all the Lexus, Mercedes Benz, the bullshit Audis, all that stuff, you can lease them for pennies on the fucking dollar and have a write-off. Okay. All that stuff is easily obtained. You don't need to have that to encourage you as a trader to get the attention of other people. Oh, you're a trader. Look at that. You're driving a leased vehicle. And there's no knock against a lease. When I was running the mentorship, my Corvettes were well, let me put it this way. The 2019 was a lease. When I finished the lease, I paid it out. I own it. That's why it's still here. I got it in 2018. Guess what, folks? If it was a lease, it would have already been turned in, and it's still here with me. I own all my cars. But that lease allowed me to write off $1,300, 100% write off. You as an employee of whatever company you work for, your car payment, your car note, you have to eat that. That's not a write-off for you. It's what you do with your money. How are you financially literate?